Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monk Chat today with Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery. We would like to welcome all of you. Thank you for your time. Vidura 1, Jayanta Fernando, Gita Jnana, Deborah Olik, AS, and Sud. We would really like to welcome all of you. And also we have Jens and Champika here right in front of me. Also Stan, the cat. And so uh, Monk Chat is a phenomenal program conducted by the Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery. And I think it has been very helpful for many people. So we really appreciate your participation, and also we would like to invite all of you to join us. Okay, Geeta has a question, and thank you for giving all of us this opportunity with the Q&A. All venerables, Geeta, thank you. And Geeta has a question. Venerable Sumita, what is the difference between mind and consciousness? Is the consciousness watching the mind? uh, so, in Dhammapada, for example, we hear the very famous Pali stanza, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. That means mind is the forerunner of all states. Mano Settha Manomaya, mind is the supreme, mind is excellent. Manomaya, mind made are they. So if one speaks or acts or thinks with a wrong intention, then the result will follow. Just as the wheel of uh, the wheel cart, the bullock cart will follow the hoof of the ox. Just like that, the result also will follow. And same thing when we do something good um, with the good intention, then good result will follow. Whenever we say, whenever we think, whenever we act with the intention. So here chitta is the word that is used for mind, and consciousness is vijnana. So chitta is like, I would like to say chitta is like the factory and consciousness is like a product, one of the products. Yes, um, so they can be both mutually beneficial. And so I think it is really very wonderful, and mm, looking at our own mind, reading our own thought, and being able to monitor our own thought will be really helpful. Geeta, if you, for example, when you get angry, or when you get jealous, or when you get happy, or when you get sad, you can monitor. You can monitor them. It will be really helpful if you can recognize them. So the most of us actually we don't recognize these things that come to us. Those things can pop up in our mind right away, and we don't even pay attention to that. Those things. Sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get sad, sometimes we get afraid and phobia, trauma, and all these things, stressful situations that can happen to us. And many of us try to maybe kind of what to say, like skip it. You don't want to face it, encounter it. Rather, you want to skip, just bypass it, and try to think of something else. So what happens? Those um, bitterly or unfavorable thoughts can be established in our mind. So it will be really sad. We see many people suffer from cancers, all kinds of cancer, and traumatic illnesses, depressions, and many things. I would like to say, basically, because of the because of that ignoring emotions that we have. If we rather try to analyze them, if we rather try to encounter them, face them, and I think there is more opportunity for us to cope up and completely maybe get out of these things. Really important. So I would like to say, don't run away from those things. If you get sad, if you get angry, if you get jealousy, lust, many defilements that can happen to us, just face it, just recognize it, and then your problem will be 50% solved, I must say. If you recognize them, if you do not recognize them, those things will go deep inside, and then they will actually haunt us, and eventually we get mentally depressed, and also eventually our body cannot bear it anymore, so people get sick. And whenever you have some weakness in your body, those emotions, those depressing thoughts will hamper. Let's say you have a weak back problem, your backache will improve, aggravate. And let's say you have knee problem, your knee pain will increase. Let's say you have cholesterol, high cholesterol or blood sugar, those things also will improve. Now you see why people are suffering more and more, because they don't want to face the reality. They don't want to see, they don't want to accept. Oh, I am having this thing. If you try to accept it, I have an issue. I'm honest. I want to be humble here to accept my fault, and then there is an opportunity for you to get rid of that problem. So I would like to invite all of you, don't be afraid, don't be shameful if you have anything like that. Just honestly look into that, face it, recognize it, observe it, and then you will be able to come out of it. So I would like to say, if you think of mind and consciousness, mostly these negative consciousness can happen to us. You know, Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankhara Vijnana, or Chakku Sota Gahana Jivha Kaya Mana, like the eye consciousness. When we see something, and you have when you see something through the eye, you have Chakku Vijnana, right? It can be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. So when you have unpleasant form, then you get angry, or you get upset, you get sad, you get moody, and then you generate a bad karma. And same thing when you hear a sound, certain sounds when you hear, maybe when you hear to listen to some people, maybe someone doesn't like me, like hearing my voice can generate a really powerful bad karma, I mean anger for such people. So I would like to say, just recognize it, that will be very helpful. And same thing with the smell, the touch, and the thought, all the things, consciousness, looking at them will be very helpful. Hope it was helpful, Geeta. And let's see. In between, I would also like to ask our live audience to ask if you have any questions. Okay, let me go to the other. Okay, Gita has another question. In Nama Rupa, it's the Rupa we are thinking about. If Nama Rupa ceases, then consciousness ceases, then karmic formation ceases, then ignorance to break through the 12 links. Yeah, so in Paticca Samuppada, when we hear this thing, avidya pachaya sankhara, sankhara pachaya vijnana, vijnana pachaya nama rupa, right? So because of the vijnana, the nama rupa happens, and because of the nama rupa pachaya salayatanam, the six senses happen, and then salayatana pachya phaso, because of that the contact happens. All these are mutually helpful, but not necessarily only one depends on the other, but they are actually mutually linked to each other. In close proximity, they are more related to each other, but they can be, let's say, like ignorance, avidya, and craving, tanha, can be related to all these things. So, karmic formation can happen too when you see something. When you, as I mentioned, like when you see something, when you hear something, when you taste something and touch something and even think, through these things karmic formations can happen. And only when you don't when you have nirodha samapatti, or you intentionally try not to think of anything, then you will not generate some sankhara. So karmic formations can happen, and yes, ignorance can be in between all of them. So it is said avidya and tanha are the most powerful links here in the paticca samuppada. The other things are also mutually helpful and mutually beneficial to each other. Just like nama rupa, like it is compared to the blind and the crippled. So the blind person cannot walk. The crippled, blind person cannot see. The crippled person cannot walk, right? So if they get together, they can walk a journey. Blind person can have the crippled person on his shoulder, and then he can walk. And the crippled can walk, but he can see, so they can help each other. Same thing, nama rupa can help each other too. The mind and body, materiality, mentality, they can help each other. And all through these karmic formations and all, ignorance will be the latent and hiding agent, secret agent that will be actually operating in the back end. So we have to be very careful about those things. Okay, hope it was helpful. AS is asking how to manage with metta and care the awareness of our wrong views. How to manage with metta and care the awareness of our wrong views. Yes, when you have wrong view, we still can get angry. Because if you get angry, it doesn't help you anyway, because it will only make you frustrated. So the best thing is to get out of the wrong view, is listen to Dhamma talks, join the monk chat, uh, and listen to Dhamma talk, meet some wonderful monks who are eligible enough to help you get out of the wrong views, and read Dhamma books. Nowadays, a lot of resources are available freely online. and available. But if you still have some issues, you can always help yourself. Yeah, be connected to some spiritual community where you can get some help. I'm pretty sure there are so many wonderful communities out there to help you. So don't get upset, don't get mad, and don't get mm, like angry with yourself or sad. Yeah, there is help always available. I hope and wish you all the best. And you can, I'm sure, get out of the wrong way. One thing I can give you a tip, like if you have some wrong view, like you just imagine, like when you have that thought or view, does it generate anger in you? Does it generate greed in you? Then you can see, oh, this is not going to help me because it makes me angry, it makes me sad, it makes me greedy. So greed, hatred, ill will, and delusion, if it's generated through some view, then we have to be careful about. And sometimes I did not mention intentionally about the ignorance, because ignorance or the avijja is something that is really difficult to recognize, and especially at the beginning, especially with the people who have wrong views. Yes, so think of it. If something, when you do or think or say, uh, if it's generating some good wholesome thoughts, meritorious thoughts, pretty happy about things, and you feel not angry, you feel not greedy, you feel more generous and more positive, then I think you are possibly in the right path. So that these are some of the signs that you can think of it. Okay, and let's see. We have another question by Shadow of Label. Do Buddhists believe in sin? If so, would letting go be a way to forgive others or oneself? Um, yes, I think sin, in the sense, if we say like karma, good karma, bad karma, or punya, papa, merits, demerits, if you want to call it a sin, the negative thoughts, they can be sin. Yeah, would letting go be a way to forgive others or oneself? I think yes. I think letting go, whatever you have done in the past is past. If someone has done something wrong to you in the past, it is past. And if you are holding on to that grudge, it won't help you, it won't help the other person as well. So letting go is the best way. And when you are angry, when you are sad, if something happened to you, something wrong in the past, that is past. So do not repent on the past. And just take the example of Angulimala. I always think Angulimala's story is such an inspiring story to all of us. He did so many bad things, but Buddha let him go. Buddha let him come out of that misery. And actually, he could not meditate. He was always suffering. And Buddha helped him come out of that, rescued him, come out of that miserable fixation, that negative fixation. And then Buddha said, okay, you did it something in the past, that's done. That is past. And right now, from now onward, if you have not done something good, if you are not doing something bad, that is fine. One time he was walking on arms round, and he heard a mother, a pregnant mother was crying in pain. She was in excruciating labor pain, and he was so sad. He was touched by that. And such, like Angulimala being such a criminal, he had that compassion in him. And then he came to the Buddha, asked the Blessed One, there was an incident on the way. I saw this pregnant woman. I felt so sad for her. She was in pain. Is there any way we can help her? The Buddha thought, wow, this Angulimala has found a gem of an opportunity to get rid of his own sansaric bad habit, and also the difficulties, discomforts that he is facing when he is walking in arms round. And yes, you can do an assertion, what we call Satya Kiriya. um, so if you do this Satchakiriya or the assertion, maybe this will be helpful to that lady. Go back and do that assertion. And then Angulimala asks the Blessed One, what should I say? You say, I have never done anything, any killing, or I have never killed any sentient being. So by the power of that, may she be well, happy, healthy. What? How can I do that? I would be the last one to say that, because I have been a criminal for many, many years. Bante, how can I do that? Okay, so there is an opportunity. This is why I think you have to be very happy being a Buddhist. So you can forget about the past. Have you ever done any killing, any hurting of any sentient being ever since you became a monk? Oh no, I can 100% assure that I have never ever done anything wrong as a monk. Okay, go ahead. Now is the time for you to do this assertion. Angulimala went there and he did that assertion. He said, Yato hang bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato nabhi janami sanchichapanang jivita oropeya. Um, just um, by the power of the merit that I have generated, by not engaging in any kind of panatipata, not hurting anyone, not killing any sentient being whatsoever, by the power of that, may this sister be well, happy, healthy, safe. She said that. He said that. And she became very comfortable in delivering the baby. And ever since, Angulimala Parita is used by the Buddhist monks thousands of years. And this one is a really powerful one. So, so letting go is a really wonderful way. Don't worry about past. We all are human. To err is human. To forgive is divine, right? So there is always a chance for you to let go of the past. And if you start from here, right now, right here, I think you can always come out with a glorious success. And the Buddha said in many occasions, actually, in Samyutta Nikaya, Devata Samyutta, it's a very famous thing too. Atitang nanu sochanti, nappajapanti nagatang, pachupannena yapinti, tena vanno pasidati. When a Devata, a deity, saw a monk in the jungle, in the forest, with minimal lifestyle, they don't have many comforts, no such minimal lifestyle. And then again, how come the monk is so shining in his face? He's so happy. He looks so released and peaceful. How does it happen to him like that? And then the monk, when the deity asked him, he said, Atitang nanu sochanti, I don't worry about my past. I just let it go. And no repenting of anything in the past. I don't live in the past. Most of us either live in the past or in the future, right? We don't live in the present time. We don't live at the present moment. This is the problem. And so either we daydream about the future, what is going to happen tomorrow, what should I do tomorrow, my exam, my interview, whatever, my business, Or in the past, I could do this thing 10 years ago, or I should have bought a house some 10 years ago. Always think of something that you could not achieve in the past. You already have achieved a lot, and you still don't want to appreciate that, be happy with that, don't want to be content with that, but rather repent, rather worry, sad about the past that you couldn't do. So this is the other problem that most of us have. Either we are not happy with what you have, or we are still wanting to have more and more, rather than being happy with what you have right here, right now. So I would like to invite all of you, letting go of the past and be happy right here, right now. So in meditation, it's a challenge. The challenge is to be at the present moment. When the mind goes to the past, recognize, oh, the mind is in the past. Or if the mind is going to the future, you recognize it's in the future, it's going to the future. And so try to stay right here, right now, will be the best way to recover from all kinds of stresses. You can get rid of all kinds of stresses. So you can be happy right here, right now. And let's say some people come to the meditation retreat here, and they think of the home. What happened to my children? Let's say, like, let me ask Champika, do you think of your children? What happened to my children? No, what happened to his cow? If you keep thinking of it again, it doesn't make sense. You are here to meditate. Okay, so make maximum use of this golden opportunity. Don't let this wonderful opportunity lose. So make maximum use of it. Try to be here right now. Practice as much as you can, so that practice will be helpful for you when you go back to home. You'll be able to cope up with those difficult situations in a much more confident way, much more powerful way, and also much more peaceful and calm way. So it's important. Yes. So Buddhist people always are happy to forgive others. And metta is infinite, immeasurable loving kindness that we have. We always like to send metta to everyone. Okay. Okay. Ocean Blue has a question. I like the name. Hello, Bante. Is it okay to make good karma through dana and make wishes to achieve an immediate and favorable result? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that some people like to get some, always like to get some, what do you call, immediate result. Like when you think of something, let's say like you offer something, and then you think of your children or your own happiness or something. But at the beginning, it's okay, I would say. But later on, you have to get rid of that as well. Because when you give something, you don't want to hold on to that. Okay. And giving means giving and not holding on to that. Some people actually, they have a problem. When they give, they think, oh, I gave, oh, I am a devotee of this temple. My parents are also have been devotees of this temple. My grandparents are also devotees of the temple. So like I am the owner of this temple. Sometimes I don't do anything. My grandparents and my parents have done so much for the temple, and I'm trying to act like the owner of the temple. So that means you have not actually giving, you are really holding on to that more. Yeah, that way you have to be careful. So when you give, just give. I just give you an example. Sometimes people bring dana to the temple. Okay, let's say Katina ceremony. I know a lot of people really like to bring some dana. Let's say you bring your favorite dish to the temple, and there are like 50 monks sitting, and you want to offer serve one by one, and then you see some monks accept it, some monks do not accept it, and then you think, why don't these monks accept it? And you feel like, I want to finish this monk do not accept it, I made it myself, you have to accept it. So you are really, you came with the dana to be happy and to give away, or you are holding on to that and worry yourself? This is the problem. So I have a good suggestion to all those people. When you bring a dana, let's say you bring a delicious dish, do not serve yourself, give it to someone else. So when that person serves it, you don't know whether the monks accept or not, right? So you don't have to worry about that part. And later on, otherwise, you go home also think, I I cooked this meal myself, and this monk did not eat it. And sometimes some people even look at the bowl. Oh, he did not eat it. I have seen, actually, there have been some people like that. So do not do that. This is not really giving. When you give, do not follow up with that. Sometimes we have that issue. We want to really holding on to that. And let's say, like, you offered the land to a temple, so much the better, okay? But then don't try to advertise it, and don't try to say to everyone, I am the one who did this, and I have right to do this in that thing and take decisions. And um, doing so much drama will actually not make you happy. It will really make you sad, actually, more stressful to you. And same thing with those simple little things. Giving is giving. Sometimes people give something to a homeless person, and then you also, sometimes people watch, what is he doing with that? Is he taking their money and going home, and or taking some drugs and drinks and alcohol, all these things? You're worrying about that thing. That is also not giving. Giving is giving. You just give, and that's it. And so your hard-earned money, or whatever, you do it with good heart, pure heart, very pure intention. You just give it away, and that will be so much better for you. Okay, so really important to think of it that way. um, I'll tell you an example of Jetavanaram Monastery. When Anathapindika, the millionaire, um, he offered build this temple, beautiful temple, and offered this for the benefit of the Mahasangha. Now the Buddha and all the great, great Maha Arahant monks, he was offering. So many people came. I have said this story before too, but I would still like to repeat this again for the benefit of all of you, if it works for you. Uh, two friends came. Two friends came, and they saw, wow, so beautiful. The temple is so nice. Decoration and flags and lots of people, and they are so happy. And one of those two friends, he was so happy from the very far. When he saw that, his heart was so full of good energy always. And then he kept his palms together close to his forehead. He said, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. This Anathapindika is so amazing, so generous, so wonderful. He offered this temple to the Mahasangha and the Buddha. He was so happy. And then what happened? To the other friend, oh, what is this? This man, Anathapindika, is such a foolish man. You spend so much of money for this? Why? You should have invested this money for something else, maybe some property, did some, you should have done some business or something. Why did he do this thing? And he was worried. And neither of them spent a penny for this project. Neither of them did. But the one who was so happy, he was wholeheartedly sharing equal. He became an equal shareholder of this wonderful meritorious activity. And the other one, without spending money, he gained so much bad karma. So much bad karma. He was upset. He went home also, like telling everyone, "Oh, look at that Anathapindika, such a foolish man. He should have actually saved his money for his children or done some business or invested this thing. What he did, he wasting money and all that stuff." Yeah. So sometimes we have to be careful in judging other people's actions. So be very, very careful. Sometimes I've seen, you don't spend, like you see some other person helping a homeless person and you are judging. So what will be your karma? Your karma will be bad karma. The other person will go to heaven, you will go to hell. Right? Hell for free. so, so be extra careful in judging these things. All right. Hello Bante. In Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, the Buddha talks about parts of body and earth element inside and outside, etc. How does one add "this is not me, not mine, not myself" into the meditation? Okay, so in the case of four elements, like let's say, you think of the dhatu, okay, the element. I think this morning also I was a little bit touching about this. Let's say like you have hair element. So when you have hair element, you think this is softness and hardness in the hair, and that is the nature. And then you think this hair element, this earth element is there, and then with your bone, with your flesh, there are 20 actually kinds of body parts are there with earth element, 12 with water element, and then 4 with fire element. Yeah, so there are different parts of the body with different kinds of elements. And so like thinking of others, you also can compare. Let's say you see someone's dead body, or you see someone's sickness, or you see someone else's anything, you can compare it with yourself too. Okay, this person has lost his tooth, or this person has lost his hair. And you think of yourself today, this lunchtime, I think I remember Champika was mentioning about someone who passed away recently, a very famous person. And I remember he had a beautiful hair. He had a beautiful hair, curly hair. Everyone likes him. He was an actor and also a singer. And he got cancer. When you get chemotherapy, you lose all hair, right? Such beautiful hair, you lose it, like just like me. And see, you think of it. You think of it, and when you think of it, that will be very helpful too. You can compare with the other people. Oh, this happened to that person. Same thing can happen to me too. Last time I was walking with Thamsutam, and last leg of the walking from New York to Washington DC, I saw some dead animals. I saw deer. I saw other animals, maybe knocked down by a car or something. I saw them dead. I took some time. I stayed there and I transferred merit to them. And I felt like, yeah, look at these animals. Their life is so uncertain. You don't know when, where, how it happens. Death can come to us. Same thing can happen to us anytime. You don't know. Sometime an earthquake, sometime fire, sometime water flood, accidents, and also sickness. All these things can actually take our life away just like that. So thinking of elements will be very helpful actually. Think of your own body and comparing with the others will be helpful. And let's say hair. At the beginning, when you have hair, you decorate it, you, what do you call, do so many massage and so many nourishment. You take vitamin, you take massage and ointment and many things you do, shampoo, conditioners, all these things to keep your the hair shining, right? And then that hair is so precious to you. You become so egoistic and you become very happy and conceit, building your own conceit because of your hair. And then suddenly you see your hair is falling here and there, and then do you want to keep that again? Like if the your hair falls onto the food, nobody would like to even think of it. And that beautiful hair, oh, this beautiful hair belong to that actor or model or whatever. Do you think you will like it or the others will like it? No, right? Same thing with the other body parts too. They are inside. When they are inside, when they are with you, you also are very happy. But when they are separated from your body, you don't want to claim anymore. You don't want to claim anymore. Your teeth, your nail, your bone, your everything, including your blood, and look at those inside fluidities and everything you don't like to keep it for you. So you can say everything is not me, not mine, not myself. If you take one by one, whether this hair belongs to me or not, and whether it is me, I, me, myself, can we say that to those body parts? No. So that way actually you can see eventually that this is just a body but not a being. In Satipatthana Sutta, also this one is explained very very well. This is a body but not a being. So in that way you think, this is not me, this is not mine, this is not myself. uh, I hope it would help you. And today I'm going to talk about the Navasivatika Pabba, the 9 channel grounds. After this, we'll have Dhamma discussion, Sutta discussion. If you like, you can get more insight into that. All right. And Dhammajiva has a question. Bante, are you saying that Chitta is separate from the 5 aggregates? Aren't Chitta and Vijnana used mutually, interchangeably? Uh, Chitta is separate from the 5 aggregates. I think I did not say that way, but 5 aggregates, if you say, um, it's not really separate, but they can be interchangeable too. Yes, it's not really separate, but they have subtle connections to each other. Yes, thank you, Dhammajiva. Okay, Kumu has a question. Bante, why is it not permitted to damage plants or pick flowers in the vinaya? Is it not okay for monks to grow plants, vegetables, and fruit in their monasteries, temples, for example? I think uh, during the Buddha's time, uh, Jain people had a very strong belief that the grass are ekindriya prani, or one organ life. So during the rains retreat, they did not want to walk on the grass, meadows, and when they saw the monks walking on them, they actually accused the monks. Oh, these monks are killing the grass, so it is not good. And Buddha took it in a much more positive manner, and he said, okay, this is raining time, and you also are all the time walking to help benefit the community. And then during the rainy season, you better not go out, stay inside somewhere, and work on yourself, work on your own spiritual progress. So look into yourself and progress, improve your own spiritual path. This is the best way. And Buddha's, I think, taking it in the positive manner was really, really helpful. And then in the Vinaya, yes, the monks are not supposed to cut trees and do anything. Even cutting trees can, and also dealing with the digging of the earth. All these things are not allowed for monks. They might break some minor precepts if they do so. So the monks, Upasampada monks, they have 227 precepts in the Patimokkha for the monks, and for the nuns they have 311 precepts. So those small precepts can be broken if you are dealing with the plants and vegetables. So in the Theravada Buddhism, at least, the monks are not supposed to grow plants or do anything like that. Yeah, that is the thing. Okay. All right. Okay, let me give you a chance to our live audience.
Bante, can you speak about the importance of sadha or faith in the practice, and how did the role of faith in the practice?
I think very good question. Saddha. What is the role of saddha? Uh, um, I would say when Buddha visited Alavaka, Alavaka was a monster. And one day he went to his cave. Alavaka was a very, very ferocious monster, and nobody would dare to go close to his cave. One day the Buddha went there, and at the gate, the gatekeeper said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going inside." And then the gatekeeper said, "This one belongs to Alavaka. He is a very dangerous guy. Don't mess with him." And the Buddha said, "It's okay. I'm okay. I will go inside." And he said and went. And then when Alavaka came, he came to know about this. He was so angry, and he said. පාදේසුවා ගහෙත්වා පාර ගංගායන් කිපෙය. In Sinhala, kakul දෙකෙන් අල්ලලා පොළවේ ගන්නවා. And that means I can take you by your feet and throw away across the river. Do you know who I am? And then I can even confuse your brain pattern, thinking pattern. I can make your mind mess. The Buddha said, you know what? Yeah, There is no one in this world to challenge me like that. Not even the Brahma or Mara or anyone, Deva or anyone in this world could do that. But if you have any question, you can ask me. Um, Alavaka said, I have a question. If you don't answer, I will do that. And then the Buddha said, okay, you can ask the question, but don't think of all the other things. You're not even, somewhere close to that. And then the question he asked was, Kingsu the Vittang Purisasa Setang, Kingsu Suchinno Sukhamavahati. What is the greatest wealth? Kinsu the Vittang Purisasa Setang, for a noble person. And the Buddha said, Saddhi the Vittang Purisasa Setang. Saddha, the confidence, that faith is the greatest asset that one can have. So Saddha is really very important thing. Remember, there is something that you need to know, that Saddha and Bhakti, they are two different things. Saddha is also to do with, also mixed with Panya. And it is not blind faith. It is with Yoniso Manasikara. It is with that mindful alertness. You have that faith and confidence in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and all the actions that you do. You need to do that, and that way your life can be progressing in the spiritual path. First thing we need to do for our spiritual path is Saddha. No matter how intellectually rich you are, no matter how generous you are, but you need to have the Saddha also. Without Saddha, things can actually go wrong. You see some of the people who are very intellectual, very smart, but when they don't have Saddha, they might do certain weird thing. Let's say like a very good businessman, very smart, very, very smart. But then he doesn't know how to, he doesn't have those ethical conduct, consideration for the world and for the others. So he will only think of the money. He will only think of the money. He can pollute the river, he can pollute the ocean, he can pollute the air, he can clear the forest. He doesn't care as long as he gets money. But the one who has saddha will be different. He will also have ethical considerations for the others. And especially the devotion part is really important. Like devoted, this one also is something to do with your determination and effort. What we call virya and aditthana. They are all going together. Okay, yes, Saddha is a really important thing. Many people, you think, sometimes it's amazing. Like even a professor cannot have that Saddha. Some simple people, they have so full of Saddha. That's amazing, an asset. They are so rich in their heart because of the Saddha. They can do many things. They are equanimous, they are compassionate, they are considerate for the other. So important. Okay. Champika, you have a question?
Yes, Bhante, can you explain how to do metta meditation? There are so many ways. What is the simplest way to do the metta meditation?
Simplest way to practice metta.
Yes.
I'll give you a shortest mantra. Okay. May you be well, happy, and healthy. Or may all beings be well and happy and healthy. Please write this down. Please repeat this every time. May all beings be well and happy and healthy. This will be so powerful to every one of you. If you want to practice metta. So let's say like You go to meet some people you don't know. Okay, you go to an assembly of people you have never met. Um, Start chanting this in your heart. You say, may they all be well and happy and healthy. Then enter the assembly. You feel good. Okay, let's say you go to a shopping mall. Before entering, may they be well and happy and healthy. You will be good. You will be so confident and happy inside, peace. When you enter the airplane, may they all be well and happy and healthy. Think of those people. When you drive, also think of all the other drivers. May they all be well and happy and healthy. This is so amazingly powerful, I must say. It has helped me so much in dealing with such difficult situations. I would like to say this can be a savior. This can be such a protective mantra for all of you if you use this as a regular mantra. Even before eating, you know, um, take your food and think of those people who have contributed towards this food. The food that you eat has been a product by wonderful farmers who have done so much work. And imagine, people have transported, people have processed, people have packed, came to the shopping mall, and then you bought it, and you just bought it. Somebody even maybe cooked for you. And for us, we always have to think in so many ways. Wonderful people have offered us food. May they all be well and happy and healthy. I always used to say that. And even after eating, um, I do it silently. May they all be well and happy and healthy. Whenever I do the chanting, I always do that. After chanting, I always think of all the sentient beings. May they all be well and happy and healthy. This is a tremendous way to practice metta. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we have another question from Geeta. Thank you, Bante Sumita. Yes, we are now able to see when emotions arise and able to contain it and neutralize any negative states from arising. Bringing to mind impermanence is quite helpful. Yes. Yeah, nothing is permanent. All conditioned things are impermanent. We are not going to live forever. And then why do we have to be angry or hateful or revengeful on others? Or why do we need to have negative thoughts? Or be happy, smile. Simple smile can bring you so much good joy and energy. These things will be really amazingly powerful. Yeah, impermanence, take it in the positive manner. That will be very helpful to you to get out of this samsara too. Yes, thank you, Geeta. And we have, I think, Bante Sumita, we were listening to Venerable Gunaratana. He mentioned that he can use our good karma, like generosity, towards our own awakening. Can you kindly explain a bit? I think it is like Chaganupassana. Like, you can also think of your own good deeds. I think it is not a bad thing. Like when you have done something good, you contemplate on it. I have done some good karma, and yeah, that will be sometimes when you are weak. Also, it can be helpful. In the past, I have read in some books. In Sri Lanka, we had something called Punya Pothaka. Punya Potaka means ping potter. You write down all the good things that you do. You went to Bodhi tree, you did some, pilgrimage, and you offered something. You offered 10 ataparikaras, and rather than recording, maintaining journals of all the businesses, with defilements. If you record this kind of a journal, if you maintain this kind of a journal with all the meritorious, auspicious things, wholesome things that you have done in your life, in retrospection, look at them, read them, you will be so happy. Oh, I have done so much good things, and the other people may be also inspired. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Think of your good dana sila bhavana that you have done. You can always think of them, and you can always help other people. You can motivate yourself. Sometimes when you go down, especially when you read, oh, I have been a good person. I was a good person before. Today morning, I was talking about Daarucharya. Daarucharya was a very powerful meditator during the Kassapa Buddha's time. And then during this Buddha's time, he was he even refused to eat when he was meditating. Even at the cost of my life, I am not going to accept food from my other friends. I'm going to meditate. That was his sheer determination. But then what happened later on? During the Kassapa, the Gautama Buddha's time, he was trying to survive by faking, pretending that he was an arhat. That time, one of his earlier meditating friends, Brahma, who was in the Brahma realm, he came to him and admonished him, hey, look at you. What are you doing now? Are you doing the right thing? You are pretending, you are faking. You're not an arahant. And then it was a shocking therapy for him. He opened his eye right away. He was a good man, but still the ignorance, the avidya can fool you all the time. Okay, avidya is such a dangerous thing. It can fool you all the time. Sometimes when people appreciate us, we can be carried away. Oh, I got a good monastery. I got a good title. I have a lot of fans. Full lot of followers, Facebook followers, YouTube followers, social media followers, and my picture is everywhere. So I am a famous person. All these things can actually fool you. We have to be really careful about this. Whether you are educated, whether you are rich, or all these things. So be careful about these things. But thinking of the good deeds and taking them in the positive manner can always help us. Okay. I hope I answered the question, Geeta. Okay, is that especially if one is not interested in any rebirth, since the Buddha has given us the roadmap to Nibbana? When one is not interested in rebirth, yeah, don't worry about rebirth, then try to attain Nibbana right here, right now. Yeah, it is good if you can think of it. Uh, but I think in Buddhism, rebirthing is something that is very integral part of Buddhist teachings, because we talk about the samsara, we talk about the punabhava, and also the kamma. They are very important teachings. And if you don't have these things, then people don't care about them also, and so they just live this life just for the sake of it. But in the true Buddhist teachings, I think it's important to think of our past or future births too. You are doing right here, right now, today, doing very good because of some of your good karma too. We have to accept it. And some of the privileges that you have today is because of some of your wonderful good karma in the past. So inspire yourself and do more for the future. It will not be harmful. It will be more helpful. And even otherwise, if you don't want to accept, if someone who doesn't want to accept it, still be good and do good. right here, right now, then you will be good every time. If you are good right here, right now, every time, then every day will be a good day. Right? Yes. Okay. Hello, Bhante. Do a lot of people we meet and feel a bond come from interactions with them in past lives? Could be. You never know. I think it could very well be the case. Because sometimes, when we see some people, we feel like we are so comfortable with those people. For example, here we have Champika, like a mother to us. And Jens is so wonderful. They are like, we haven't met them. I haven't met them before. I just came here during the Vasana season. I met them and they are so wonderful. I met quite a good people, number of good people, even online. I remember some of you here. I see some of your names here too. Yeah, so looks like we have been connected somewhere, and sometimes maybe good or bad people too, they can follow us, right? Yeah, mostly I take it in the positive way. Yeah, we must have been connected somewhere. We have been also walking together in the samsara, fulfilling paramitas, practicing the dhamma. Those things can happen. Yeah, and practice together. It's really important. If you meditate together, some of your friends can be born in the Brahma realm. Later, they can help. Just like Daarucharya's case. So, very important to practice together. Okay. Right. Mm. Namo Buddhaya Bhante, Iwachin. Recession, coronavirus, and shifting demographics are intensifying the pressures on the sandwich generation. What your thought about this and the solution as well? Thank you, Bhante. Wow, the jargon was a little bit. um, Recession, coronavirus, and shifting demographics are intensifying the pressures on the sandwich generation. Yeah, I think I would like to say during the pandemic, it's something that we humans have to be really very thoughtful and mindful about. I think we have been overly selfish and overly possessive and claiming that this whole universe belonged to us. We were overconfident too that we can do anything. No one can touch us and we are like invincible. But this pandemic taught us such a powerful lesson. I wonder if people have learned a lesson from them, many of them. And so the best thing is to practice. And some of them, they really learn the hard side of the bitter side of life. And you are married and then you go to work, and during the pandemic you stay home, and then you really saw the real struggle. Right? Husband wife, then they are together all the time, they felt too tired, and some of them even divorced. And yeah, the wife had so much work to do and maybe the husband doesn't share. Sometimes things can happen, and so much into social media maybe, and don't do anything. And also you really want to go out and meet other friends and travel around. But I think during the pandemics, some group of people were really benefited. Practitioners, meditators, they always appreciate, they always happy to meditate. And when you meditate, you can cope up with any situation too. It doesn't really bother you. I think practicing meditation and also being kind and maybe helpful to others. Yeah, you can also um, evaluate your own thoughts, find some, maybe you look into yourself, see for yourself. You have been running so much, just like when Angulimala said to the Buddha, you are, um, I can't catch you. The Buddha said, I have stopped, you are the one running. So we humans have been running so much. We had that cutthroat competition, rat race, never stopping. And now we had a time to look back into ourselves, deeply contemplate on our own value system, maybe. Trying to recognize our own mistakes and rectify those things. Even for people who have lost their businesses and all, I would like to say, like, don't worry. Just find some other way. There will always be another way to come out of that. Don't worry. Things happen for a reason. And maybe sometimes things can happen that will be a blessing in disguise to you. So the pandemic also gave an opportunity to be with your family, to be with your children, to be with your other friends and all, much more. And also I noticed that the air was so wonderful, very clean. During those early days, I remember I heard in one single day, 100,000 airplanes go to the air, go to the sky, 100,000 per day. I don't know how the air survives the sky. And during the last few weeks and months, maybe, it was so beautiful and so refreshing. And while we were confined to homes, and a lot of wild animals were enjoying in the freeways and everywhere, right? So it gave us a lesson. We have to learn it. We have to learn it. I think it's really important. And yeah, keep practicing. I think practicing Sila would be a great idea. Practice 5 precepts. That will be very helpful to all of us. Let me go to another question from Sud. Yes, thank you, Bande. Do you have any tips to practice Sati Sampajanya? Thank you, sir, for your wonderful talk and examples thus far. Yeah, for to practice Sati Sampajanya, every time when we do something, just be mindful and just stay at the present moment. And sometimes if you think your Sati is not working properly, I would like to say observe the Sila. Maybe think of your Sila. Practice 5 precepts. I'd like to say, recommend all of you observe 5 precepts every single day on regular basis, and think of the meaning. Panatipata Veramani. Um, I abstain from killing living beings, harming others. Adinadana Veramani. I abstain from taking things not given. Kamesu Michachara Veramani, I abstain from sexual misconduct. Musavada Veramani, I abstain from false speech. Suramere Majjapama Dattana Veramani, I abstain from drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. So think of them, to think of the meaning, deeply contemplate on them. And so if you observe it at 8 a.m. in the morning or 6 a.m. in the morning, think of it. What is the duration that you want to um, observe, like the whole day? I'm not going to break this sila. I'm going to take care of very seriously. And some of them maybe, some of the precepts maybe are stronger with you. You might be good at it. Maybe you will also notice some of them are not so strong. Some of them can be weaker in you. Then pay a little more attention to that. And then, okay, today I'm not going to tell any lie. Today I'm not going to drink alcohol. Just think of it. And if you have that issue, there are some people who they can get rid of those habits. So try, once a week I'm not going to drink. Once a week I want to try vegetarian meal. Yeah, it might work, it might be really helpful. And once a month, I suggest you, maybe the full moon day is a really good day. Full moon day is not for something, it should be for some special thing. Full moon is also very special. And full moon day is a day for us to practice a little bit more extra precepts, maybe 8 precepts. Not eating at inappropriate times. Maybe after lunch, don't take food. It'll be a detoxing effect in your digestive system. It'll be really helpful for your digestive system. If you don't eat dinner, it'll be helpful. Sometimes, some people say, I have diabetics, I had to take medicine, so I have to eat. Last time, I think a couple of weeks ago, somebody came here and he said, before coming here, I warned him, uh, you have to skip dinner here because we don't serve dinner. And he said, Bante, I'm a diabetic patient, so maybe I will have to eat something. I said, okay. And he came here, and after a week he went and he said, I did not feel any difficulty in skipping dinner. It was rather helpful for him. So don't worry. Sometimes you need to skip dinner. It's really important. And then also, the other thing is, what do you call, um, Mala Gandha Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana, like all the beautifications that you do, like trying to cover yourself from the reality. Maybe one day, once a month, no makeup, and just be yourself, just be yourself and look at you, the real face. And maybe that will be helpful to you. It'll be actually good for you also. You get a good sun, the original sun, and also the air will be happy to actually touch you. Okay, this is real. This person has always been camouflaged or laminated with many things. So yeah, you need to get the original touch of the sun and the air. That's very helpful, I think. And then the other precept is not using high large chairs and beds. Just sit on the floor. Yeah, I think sitting on the floor is like getting closer to our Mother Earth. And that will remind us the importance of humility, humbleness. And also it reminds us such important lesson like equanimity. Very, very important. So I would like to recommend you do these things to also practice sati sampajanya. uh, Bante, if there are devas and brahmas in heavenly realms or higher realms, why do they not attain nibbana? Do they choose to stay in samsara, or do they still hold attachments? Uh, some of the devas and brahmas, they are already arahants, but some of them are not. Like anyone who attains jhana can be born in the Brahma realm, so they are not necessarily arahants. But if they don't uh, attain sotapanna, they can always get back to the samsara. Sotapanna is the cracking point. That is the most important thing. We need to practice sotapanna. Then we need to attain sotapanna at least to get rid of this samsara. if you are born in the Brahma realm. Some people like it, right? Some people want to say, I want to be a millionaire, so they work on that. Some people say, I want to get a doctoral degree, so they keep working on that. And so there are people like that, they have their own. And then even meditation practitioners, some of them want to say, I want to be born in the Deva realm, so they keep on working on that, and they have limited goals. And but it is still better, if you work on to be born in the Deva realm, at least you will do some good karma. Because if you keep being born in the Brahma realms and Deva realms, means you have a habit of doing good karma. And when you keep doing good karma, there is an opportunity for you to somehow, somewhere open your the real Dhamma eye, right? Or else you just get to the bad association, do keep doing all the bad karma, you will end up in, being born in the hell realm. Such unfortunate, such miserable decision may be disastrous. It is detrimental to your samsaric existence, so you have to be careful about that. So I don't say like to be Deva or Brahma is the ultimate, but yeah, it is better than being born in the hell realm. And also doing good karma is helpful. Like I personally think it is so good if we are born as human beings, because only human beings can be born, can be a Buddha, and only human beings can be a Pacheka Buddha too. Devas, Brahmas, humans can all become arahants. And so I think humans have more privilege. Humans also can do job, they can do more good karma. So to be born as a human has more opportunity to do good karma. Remember, both good and bad they can do. But if we are in the right path, if we are associated with wonderful, good friends, we have a chance to, always be in the right track. Thank you for this question. Do they choose to stay in samsara? Yes, if they, but they can get rid of this. They still have some attachment. Yeah, it's difficult, but they can do it eventually, I'm sure. So, how can I attend the Sutta discussion, Bante, regarding 9 channel? Okay, it will start 9:30, like maybe 35 minutes later through Dhamma USA YouTube channel. Yes. And Bante, can you talk about distress, especially related to harsh treatment from other individuals? Okay. Scott, I would like to say this thing can happen to anyone. It can happen like this bullying thing, and harsh treatment by others can happen to anyone. But I think if you try to learn the art of practicing metta, no one ever can bully you. No one ever can underestimate your power. You can always be so strong inside. So you will never be worried or sad or let down by anyone. One time, somebody came to the Buddha and he kept, yelling at the Buddha. Buddha was so quiet. He was so peaceful listening to him. And then at the end of it, the Buddha asked this Brahmin, do you have friends? Like this was some weird question that the Buddha asked, right? Like he was yelling at him and then he asked, do you have friends? He said, yes, I have friends. And do you treat them sometimes? Yes, I do. And what do you do? I cook sometimes and I invite them. So if you invite them and if you have a lot of food at home, and what happens those friends if they don't eat the food? Then I made that food myself. I have to eat. And then the Buddha said, all what you were yelling and all, I will not accept you, so you can accept yourself. you know if you do not react to that situation, if you do not accept when the others are yelling or treating harsh, it will not become your karma, and it will be that person's karma. Bad treatment, harsh treatment can be other person's karma. But the moment you try to judge or react to that situation in the negative way, then it will become your bad karma too. Remember, you will not be spared then. So be careful. Let's say like somebody was angry with you, somebody was treating badly to you, and then if you also generate a bad karma or anger or something towards that person, then it will not be good for you. That will be a bad karma for you. So think of that person. If that person was bad or angry or full of jealousy or whatever, be compassionate to that person, and think of his ignorance, and poor fellow, sympathize him, and practice your own loving kindness to that person. May he be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever he is. May he be full of prosperity, full of whatever he wants, all wishes be fulfilled. Just sincerely, honestly pray for that person and keep doing it. You will never be let down. You will never be unhappy then again. You will be so strong inside, and no one can let you down. Okay? Good luck to you. Okay, I think we have another question. Tulani Teruvan Saranai Hamadurani, could you explain more about Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism practices and beliefs? It's for a research paper for one of my classes. Okay, Dulani, Mahayana and Vajrayana. Like Vajrayana is basically Tibetan related Buddhism, and there are two main schools actually: Theravada Buddhism and Mahayana Buddhism. And so Theravada also is called Southern Buddhism. Sometimes they also call Hinayana, lesser vehicle, and Mahayana is the greater vehicle, and Vajrayana is part of that offshoot of Mahayana. So some Mahayana school people, they don't want to accept Vajrayana as a separate thing. It's part of the Mahayana too, but they have their own subtle differences as well. So I would like to suggest you read something and more about this Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism. There are so many wonderful literature available on this, and hopefully you will get more help from that. Like most of the countries, I think have most of the Buddhists, I think, are Mahayana Buddhist in the world. Yeah, compared to Theravada. Yes. Okay. Rick Thorne say thank you, Bante, for sharing the Dhamma with those of us online. Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Okay, I think with that we would like to conclude today. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's been a wonderful day session today, and appreciate your presence, and all those people who said sadhu sadhu. We would like to invoke blessings upon all of you too. Rikton, Kumu, Shipul, K. Barua, Geeta Jnana, Jean Walls, Eva Chen, Rikton, Shui Mong, and who else? Anne M. Putrika, Munasingha, Viduravan, Dulani, Gunasekara, Sam, Neeraj Kumar, Scott Battle, Sud, Jean Wills, so many people. Shadow of Label, Eva Chain, Suma, 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 Ocean Blue, Oh, so many people. Thank you so much, everyone. Madalena Rollis de Rosario. I'm sorry if I pronounce properly. Poonam Sood, Patlada Warastukal Johnson, sorry, AS, and many more people joined us today. Thank you very much. And also Jens and Champika for joining us today and also asking questions. And may you all be well, happy, healthy, safe. And may all beings be well, happy, healthy, safe. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all of you and all of us and all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas, and other sentient beings, be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May they all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May all of us and all of them be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Abhivadana silis nichang uddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night, everyone. Thank you.